What's the word we want? Something going up. Remember?
Rising.
Going up.
Going up. Yeah. So the temperature is slowly going up, which causes a change in
Snowfall. Rain.
how much rain, how much snow, storms,
Temperature,
Temperature.
ocean.
ocean conditions. Yes. So that was an issue from yesterday, my afternoon class, but I thought that I would bring it up with this class as well. For our new students, I hope I can get some of the papers that I had for you to kind of pick up on this, but we have been talking about comparing
Two things.
when we compare two things, we use the comparative. Better than, bigger than, smaller than. And then the superlative.
The best. The best.
We use the in front. The best,
The best.
the biggest, the oldest, the youngest. So I'll get some sheets for you to go back to practice these. I think you've had some good English teachers in Morocco.
No.
No?
No.
Who speaks English in your family?
No, and just my aunts.
Just your aunts?
Yeah, I was studied in university, just 1 year, Department of English.
Where?
We're in Morocco.
In Morocco?
Yeah.
What city were you in?
City? Yeah, Tedla. Tedla.
Sedla.
Tedla.
So, let's see, Vekri, do you have this one?
Oh, yes, I did.
The new one from today?
No. This one is so
Did we finish this?
No.
How far did we get?
You get there too.
Page 27, let me see. Maybe we'll see if we can finish that one, if I have enough copies. For those of you that were here yesterday, page 26, 27, do you have that one?
Yeah.
Okay, Hassan,
Yeah.
do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
this is from yesterday.
I have just 28 and 29.
No,
I'll get over my.
she's making a few more copies.
Okay.
So we'll finish that one and then go on with this one. Hey, Abdul, good there? Sign in, yep. Thank you. Okay. You never know. This is from yesterday,
Okay.
and we're gonna review this. Let's see. Do you have this one from yesterday?
I guess I have. I got the 31, but I leave it at my home. So we need to. I have.
You have, oh, that's right, you have it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's, we talked about this yesterday, and we got to the second side. And we're comparing comparatives and superlatives. And we want to look at page 27. Page 27. So you want to turn it, Fatima,
Yes.
Rahima, turn the page. You're on 26. Am I right or wrong? Oh, no. Yeah, 27. Good, okay. Okay. And we want to, when they give you an exercise like this, we have to select from two choices. And notice the first one is done for us. The grocer has more checkers than the produce place. Do we all see that? And so it's only two things. When we have two things, we compare. So more than, and that's done for us. So going back to this word, did I put my pen in here? Here it is. This is my good pen, so I want to keep that separate. This word has different meanings. Same spelling, different meaning, different sound. So, produce. I work in a factory, and we produce plastic parts. Deuce, strong second side. Produce.
Hey.
Means make something. But this one, produce. Produce, what's that? Anyone here go to the grocery store? Notice our first sentence here says, the grocer. What is a grocer?
Mean vegetable.
The grocer is the guy or woman
He said.
who works in the grocery. Grocer, remember ER?
Yeah.
So it says the grocer has more checkers, that's the person who charges you money, than the produce place. What is grocer and produce? What do you think produce is?
All those place when he puts orders.
What?
Place when he puts his
Sell grocery food.
But what kind, is produce food?
Yeah.
What kind of food?
Meat.
Pardon?
Meat.
Vegetable.
It's the vegetables.
Vegetable.
So if you go to the market, to the grocery, and you're looking for produce, you're looking for the vegetables. So that's typically how it's said. So if you go to a grocery store, the produce department is where the vegetables, fruits and vegetables are. Produce. Notice produce, produce. Same spelling, different meaning, different sound. Good morning. How are you? Abdul Rahman, I have, from yesterday, did you bring yesterday's assignment back? No? I'll give you this one, I have extras. Here. I have something for you. A folder, you can put everything in. There. You know, some people that have, if they want, if you like, if you have a folder, you can put it on the table back there, put your name on the folder, you can leave it here. So you don't have to worry about in your car, at home. So anyway, that was number one. Number two. Let's take a look at number two. And Fekri, take number two.
The corner gully has more people than the sandwich shop.
Very good. Notice it's two things, so we use the more. Number three, Jamil.
The sandwich shop has the few sandwich than the corner daily.
Deli.
Daily.
Yeah.
Should be the sandwich shop has
Two things.
yeah.
Few sandwich
Few sandwich yeah.
Fewer sandwiches than. Yeah. Number three, four, Emran.
Kathleen Delhi has the more employees. The most employees.
Employees. Emran, one more time. Say the whole thing.
Employees.
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 What is an employee?
Why?
What is it?
People who work.
The staff.
The person who works.
Staff.
The one who works is the employee. The one who hires you, the boss,
Employer.
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 Employee, employer. Number 5, Hassan.
The computer plays as what computer? Blind.
Then, more computers than,
2 things.
then.
So,
More computers.
Done.
more computers than
Can you run?
computer. Very good sounding. Abdel Kader.
Compliant is the fewest printers.
That what?
The fewest printers. What's called compliant?
CompuLand.
What's compliant?
It's a store.
Compliant store.
The fewest. Right?
Usually when it's something that you can count, we use the few. If it's something that you can't count, then we would use least. But this is not a good example because either of these is going to be okay. But fewest is good. The fewest printers. Number 7, in the back, Abdel Rahman.
Computer pulse has more helpful devices than the computer play.
So which one?
Number 1,
One more time.
computers pulse
Plus.
more helpful devices than the computers play.
Very good.
Then, huh?
Yep. More helpful employees than. So we just circle that. Okay, very good. If you have 2, we compare. If it's more than 2, we use the superlative form,
Most.
EST. Yeah. You know, we didn't do our news of the day this morning.
Yeah, no.
I have some news for you. I heard this on the news this morning, and it reminded me because it's talking about computers. Last year, because of going back to 2021, computer chips. Do you know computer chips?
No.
Computer chips are the parts that go in your cell phone, in your car, in your refrigerator. Everything that's electronic has these little computer chips.
Okay.
And because of COVID, there weren't enough. They couldn't make cars because not enough computers for them. Now, because they said, oh, we need more computer chips, there's too many computer chips. So the price of electronics is probably going to go down. Yeah. Computer chips. So let's take a look at Part D, and notice that this is a chart, an information chart. And a few terms that I want to remind you about. If you look at the top, it gives the name of the chart or what it's about, the title, and it says number of stores and services. That's the title of the chart. That's the name. Then it has 4 columns. Remember columns?
Yeah.
Up and down. And notice it's got the left side. It tells where, the name of places. Then it has, on going to the right, Laguna, Irvine, and Huntington. These are cities, just to let you know. And it's telling us the number of stores and services in Laguna, City of Laguna, City of Irvine, City of Huntington. But the chart could be anything. But notice we have columns going up and down, then we have rows. So if you look, for example, the first one there, gas stations. When we look at gas stations, the first row says 22, 40, and 125. But what I want to remind you about is columns and rows. So I'll give you a couple minutes to go down and answer the questions using to compare or use the superlative. Good morning. Did you bring your paper from yesterday? Okay. We're finishing page 27. Okay, Abdullah.
More directly. More directly. More. More directly. Then food. Huh? Huh? More directly. More directly. Later. Then. More. Directly. Then.
Zachary, what did I get you? Okay, we'll do these together and put them on the board so we can make sure that we're all on the same page. We'll come up here, Fatima. Read number 1 for us.
Irvine has more gas stations than Laguna.
Very good. So notice, comparing to, so more than. And the numbers are obvious. Then try number 2 also, Fatima.
Dry cleaners, Huntington.
More than dry cleaners.
We're comparing dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners.
How many cities?
2.
3.
2.
So, the most.
You see here Huntington
More
and
dry
Irvine.
cleaners.
More,
dry cleaners.
more.
More dry cleaners. Done.
More dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners. Dry cleaners.
Irving.
Then Irvine.
Ivan.
Notice on here when we would speak, people would often leave off some of the information because they already know that. So they would say, Huntington has more than Irvine. But to be very clear, you say more what? More dry cleaners. So that's a full, complete answer for number 2. Rahima, number 3.
Banks, Irvine, more banks than Laguna.
What's next?
That's true.
Banks,
That's true.
banks, Irvine, more banks than.
Has. Has.
Has.
They didn't give it there, but we have to find it. Put it.
Has more.
Has.
Has more.
Has more
Banks.
banks than Laguna.
Even though they didn't put it there, you're gonna have to find it. Put it in. Has more. Number 4, Rahim. Rahima, one more.
Grocery store, Huntington, more grocery store than.
Notice it's not comparing anything.
Has the most.
Has
The most.
Has.
Right.
Has the most.
As the most,
Has.
Grocery store.
what was it,
has
grocery
the
stores?
most
Yeah,
grocery
yeah.
stores.
Restaurant.
Has the most grocery stores.
Number 5, Sabrine.
Okay, restaurants, Laguna, Huntington. Laguna has more restaurants Huntington than Huntington.
Very good. What was it, grocery store? Restaurant.
Restaurants, yeah. Huntington.
It's the fewer or the has more?
Restaurants.
Laguna has what?
The
A
fewer.
better look.
I think the fewer. You see that number?
Yeah.
Oh,
The pure.
45,
The pure.
30,
The pure.
not the,
No, pure.
just fewer.
Pure. Not a lot. Restaurant.
Better look at my numbers here.
Has favorite.
Then I can.
We good? Because the numbers
Restaurant one.
tell us that.
Yeah.
Okay, and Abdullah, number 6.
Number 6, Huntington. Has more post office the long
Then what?
login
Laguna.
Laguna.
Look at these vowels. Laguna. When you get that vowels in between the consonants, you gotta deal with it. You made it, okay? Arafat, did you think there was no school yesterday?
yeah.
Because it was too cold?
No.
No? We're finishing this up. Right here. Wanna sit here? All by yourself down here? Laguna. And the last one, Abdul Rahman.
How to explore?
Has the most.
Has what?
The fewest.
No. Has the most.
The most.
Has more.
The last one.
Laguna, number 7, hardware stores.
Has the most.
Most has the.
Laguna has 4, Irvine has 15,
Yeah.
Huntington has 34.
The fewest.
The fewest.
The fewest.
The fewest.
I'll do
Let's take a look. I'm going to ask you a question, and you can argue with me, but let's take a look at these 3 cities. And which city do you think is the biggest? Laguna, Irvine, or Huntington?
Huntington.
Okay. Why? Why do you say that?
Has a high number of stores
Has a high number of stores. Yeah. So
and services.
and services. Okay, we good with this one? Yeah, you could, Arafat, you can take it with you, because we're gonna move on to the next part. And then maybe we'll go over it. This is page 28.
Yes.
Does everyone have page 28? Arafat, you don't. Abdullah, did you get 28? Twenty-eight. They have it? And on page 28, take a look at part B and answer the question.
Which store?
1, 2,
is-
and 3. Page 28. Do you see? Yeah. Yeah, right there.
كلها دلوقتي
Shoes and the talking cheaper.
كلها كده ما في
Huh? Employees.
لا لا بتعمل ايه معاك من 15
Fewer. Fewer, sir.
لا لا هو قال لك
Fewer. Has fewer. أقل من
Approximately.
اشتغل هذا اداء كلودنج كريم which store is the
Take a look at these two little charts up there. We have two places, Shelby's Shoes and Clothing Depot. Notice that Depot is got a T in it, but it's not Depot, it's Depot. So you will see that often with stores. There's a chain of stores here called Office Depot. So it's pronounced Depot.
T is silent.
Depot.
T is silent. Depot. Strong O sound, but yeah. And then, of course, it gives the location. Both of these are in Irvine. And then the size of the store in square feet. Then the number of employees. And then that word that I put up on the board is proximity. Do you see that word?
Yeah.
Proximity means how close or how far something is. Yeah. And it tells us how far away to the bus stop. So let's try 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to use good sentences. So let's go up here and Arafat, number 1.
Was the store closer to the bus stop?
The clothing.
Clothing
Depot.
Depot.
So you'd say Full sentence.
The store is closed.
The clothing depot.
The clothing depot is closed. Then
The clothing depot is
Is closer to the
closer
bus stop.
to the
Bus stop.
stop.
then
Service shoes.
Then what?
Shows.
Show his shoes.
Show this shoes.
Should be shoes.
Show this shoes. Then show the shoes.
Now, when we speak, people would not put the whole thing, but we're just practicing our writing. So people would say, oh, the clothing depot is closer. The idea is good. Then if someone says, closer than what? Then you do the whole thing. Closer
plus it, so then
than Shelby shoes. Closer to the bus stop. Remember, we're putting in that if we like. Number 2. Fatima, number 2.
Which store has fewer employees? Employees. The clothing depot has fewer employees.
clothing depot
Employees than Shelby shows.
Shoes. Okay. Rahima?
Which store is larger? The clothing depot is closer to the
Wait. Is what?
Large.
large.
Is larger than.
is larger than service shoes.
Larger than. Shelby
Service shoes.
shoes. Notice down here in this chart below, it's telling us a few grammar things. Mind your way, Fakri, can you see it? So it's telling us which one, which place, which store. Or we don't put anything there. So we say, which is bigger? So notice in speech we do this. Which one is longer?
The yellow one. The yellow one.
Which pencil is longer? Which is longer? Notice we sometimes leave it out. So to be very clear, we put it in and say what it is. But this thing about which one,
Yeah.
that's a fill-in for many things. So for example, we would say 2 chairs. Which do you like? We don't say anything about what it is. Or I could say, which one do you like? Or I could say, which chair do you like? So in speech, sometimes we just leave things out, or we see this one. One means something, but not a number.
Yeah.
So the use of the word one sometimes tricks us. It's not a counting number. Which item? And notice we have to use a verb. Sentences typically have verbs. Down at the bottom, answers. Which store is bigger, the shoe store or the clothing store? Then we give a short answer, the clothing store. Or we can answer, just as I just said, the clothing store is bigger, the clothing store is bigger than the shoe store. All of these are in conversational speech. We use them all the time. Which one has more employees? The shoe store, short answer. The shoe store has more employees. The shoe store has more employees than the clothing store. Let's turn this over. Now we're going to use comparative. For these two, we have 2 things. Comparing mall and stores, and the word is going to be from the word nice, the adjective nice. So if we're comparing 2, what happens to nice? Becomes nicer. Remember, nicer than. I'll give you a few minutes to try, give part C a try on your own.
It's nothing.
Good? We'll put these on the board as well.
Has nice, more so.
Nicer also is
Nicer.
Nice becomes nicer.
Nicer.
Big becomes bigger.
Yeah.
Good becomes
Bigger.
better.
Which more?
Nicer store.
Has nice stores.
Nicer store.
Has nice stores.
Almost,
Stores.
not nice stores,
Nicer.
nicer
Nicer.
stores. We're comparing
Yeah.
two things.
Nicer. Yeah.
Let's do these together. I'll put these on the board. Sabrina, number 1.
Gas station pumps. Which gas station has more pumps? 2.
Number 2 as well.
Mall, nice stores. Which stores is more nicer mall stores?
Okay, now how are we going to do that? We want to compare. Okay,
Mhm.
stores and mall.
What's small?
Which more?
What has nicer store?
Had,
Was mile,
Has
nicer.
Yeah. Nicest.
Well, they told us to use comparative. They want us to use the ER. Yeah. For this one, remember when we compare, it means it's going to be the ER forms. Nicer storms. So they're going to tell us there's only going to be 2 malls.
Yeah.
So number 3, let's go back here, Abdul Kader.
Which biggest stores?
What?
Biggest.
bigger.
Bigger.
What?
Is bigger.
The biggest.
Biggest.
We're going to use the ER. It says comparative.
No, the biggest. It's bigger. Bigger.
They just want us to practice these.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
So
Notice what happens to big.
Bigger.
is bigger.
Yeah. Bigger.
Double G.
Bigger.
Bigger.
Hassan, number 4.
Which dry cleaner is the best?
We have to use the ER.
Oh,
Comparative. All of these.
is more,
What?
better.
Which?
Better service.
You had a question, Abdul Kader?
We can use another form for it,
Like what?
for 2. Which grocery?
What?
Which grocery?
Number 3.
Which the bigger grocery stores?
No.
No.
Oh, I see.
Which grocery?
Which grocery is bigger? You wanted to say what? Which is the bigger grocery store? Yes, you could say that.
Let's see what.
For this one?
Huh?
The bigger.
Which is the
What is the bigger?
There, in this activity, they don't tell us what they don't tell us too much information, but which grocery store is bigger? You could also say, which is the bigger grocery store? Spelling is, you could say either way. Gets the idea across. Very good grammar, either way. Which is the bigger? There's my white one. Lost it already. Which pencil is bigger?
The yellow one is
The yellow
Yellow.
is bigger.
Which is the bigger pencil?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
different, yeah.
Either way. And let's see, number 5, Hassan.
Yeah, I did. Number 4.
Number 4, Imran.
Post office had hours. Which post office had bad hours?
Now we know we don't have a word called batter.
Bad.
Yeah, no,
Worse.
What's
Bad.
the word?
bad,
Worse.
Worst.
Not worse,
worse,
Worse.
worse,
Worse.
worse.
not worser,
Worst. Worst.
worse.
Worse, worse.
It's irregular.
Worse. Yes. Worse.
Bad, worse, worst.
Worse.
Bad.
A bad restaurant.
Worse.
That restaurant is worse than this one.
Worst superlative.
That restaurant is the worst.
Very worse.
Maybe put the in front. So, Imran, number 5.
Which post office the worst hours?
You have to have this little verb in there.
Has.
Which the post office has worst hours?
Worse.
Which post office has worse hours? Let's hear it.
Post.
Post.
Imran?
Post.
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 The post.
Pop, pop, pop. Practice the P sound. Good, strong. Pop. Post. Part D. Now, we're using the superlative. The.
Yeah.
First one is done for us, so we'll just follow that pattern. Jamil, try number 1.
Gas station bomb. Which gas station has the most bomb?
Okay.
Which question has the most bombs?
Number 2.
Yes. Which mall? Which mall has a nicest?
The what?
Nicest. The nicest.
Nicest what?
Stores.
Okay.
Which one?
What's more?
I'll put the whole thing on.
Which is the biggest?
Which malls?
More. The,
Which malls?
Nice.
The
the
nicest store?
Something's missing.
Which more?
Which mall has has the
Arafat, number 3.
Crazy store big, which one that big?
The biggest.
which grocery
Crazy,
store?
crazy.
That's good. In conversation, sometimes we would call it, which one is the biggest?
Which one?
Which one the biggest?
As this should be grocery store.
Biggest.
I left out store. Which grocery store is the biggest? Number 4, Abdullah.
Which dry clean has good service?
The superlative.
As the best.
I don't see.
First.
I don't see.
We gotta get you. Okay.
Best.
Can you see from there? A little better? I'm gonna fix that tomorrow. Okay. I forgot today. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Which dry cleaners? Best service.
Has the best.
Number 5, Abdul Rahman. Number 5.
Which was Lucas?
Good dry cleaner.
Has what?
Service.
Good dry
Grocery
cleaner.
service. Bed.
Pulse.
Worst.
The worst.
Which has the worst?
Put the whole thing on here.
The best service has the worst.
Office.
Which
That's abbreviation for post office.
Field.
has the worst?
Has the worst what?
Hours.
Hours.
Which post office has
We'll skip part E. I want to move on to some information. Okay, you have to remind me, in this class, did we do this yesterday? The 50 states?
Yes.
Did we finish it? Did we answer the questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was not here? You can take this home if you were not here yesterday. Take it home and look at it. It's information. Where's that? Can we? Okay, just a little review from yesterday. And we had the word nation. I hope I didn't take it out. Okay. Nation. What is a nation?
ID.
Yeah, the name of a country. A nation. What does the word flatland mean?
No mountain.
No mountains,
Yeah.
No mountain.
no hills, no valleys.
No water.
Climate.
Weather.
We did that one.
Weather.
Weather over time. Population.
How many people?
How many people?
People.
Identity.
ID.
ID.
Who you are. Yeah. Show your identity.
Right.
Identification. Yeah. Origin.
First thing.
Where you're from. The point of where you're from. Symbol of.
The Andes?
What?
The Andes?
Like what?
And this icon.
An icon to represent something.
Flag.
A flag. In the U.S., when they talk
Flags.
about for citizenship, what is a symbol of the USA? Well, people say the flag. Statue of Liberty, something that represents the USA. But a symbol is anything that shows
Adidas.
Yeah.
that was a good one. The Department of Veterans Affairs. What is a veteran?
Army.
Someone who's been in the military and no longer there. Here is the symbol of the Department of Veterans Affairs. Notice here, it's got stars from the flag, the eagle. You see a lot of USA, the strong eagle. They like the eagle because it's very powerful. Countries like to show themselves as very strong, yeah. And then these are flags on the side. So symbol to show, to represent something.
Symbol of religion. Christian.
What's that?
Symbol of religion.
Symbol of religion, like what?
Like cross.
The cross is a symbol of Christian religion.
Christian religion.
Let's see, do we have another one here? Join. What does that mean? Join. Put together.
Together.
This one came up yesterday. Now we pronounce things.
Union onion.
Onion, onion.
Union onion.
Union onion.
Yes. Onion.
Union only.
Yeah.
بصل واللحم.
بصل والعسل.
Notice these words from vocabulary kind of fit together. Union. We have to remember that the word union means things joined together in some way. So, when people get married, it is a union of husband and wife.
Yeah.
If you work in a factory, maybe your factory has a union. Where the workers join together, a union. In the United States, we have a union of how many states?
50.
What?
50.
50.
50, yeah.
We've got to keep that in mind when we say this one and this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 and 50.
When you say 15, na, make sure you have an N sound. Otherwise, no good. 15. And this one, 50. T. All the teens are like that. Gets mixed up all the time because they sound so close together. So, talked yesterday about, I don't know, did we talk about Alaska yesterday?
Yes.
Where is Alaska?
South.
He says south.
North.
North.
Near to Canada.
Alaska. North.
Alaska is
It's the biggest.
west. We take Russia.
Here's the USA, Canada, and connected to Canada is Alaska. Okay?
Connected to Russia.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Almost. Bering Sea.
Bering Sea.
That's the water called the Bering Sea.
What is it?
Can you see, like, you can't see it too well, but it's water. The sea is water. What kind of water?
Sea.
Can you drink it?
No. Salt.
Seawater is
Salt.
salt water. I'll put this back up. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, the 50 states. I like to review things. Notice, this is not an accurate size. This is up here,
Small.
and it's way too small. Alaska is much, much bigger than Texas in real life. Okay, Alaska. And notice here, up here, we have the Bering Sea, named after a Danish sailor, person on a boat. His name was Victor Bering. He was Danish. And he was hired by the Tsar of Russia. Do you know a Tsar?
King.
The king, like a king, different name, Russian name. The Tsar of Russia, to check this out, because Russia wanted to move as far as they could. Russia came here, and then they got this far and couldn't go any further. Why? Why? Why didn't they keep going?
Canada.
Who wanted Canada?
Russia.
Well, Russia wanted it, but who had it? Who was, what?
British.
The British. Yes. So, Russia and England
Yeah, fight.
in a place called Crimea. Do you know Crimea?
No.
Crimea is part of Ukraine.
Yeah.
But the Russians in 2014 said, we take it. So Russians have wanted Crimea for a long time. Going back, this is 1700s. 1700s, wow. Long time ago. Anyway, who was stronger, Russia or England?
Stronger.
Who had more
Russia.
Russia.
Now,
England.
back then? 1700.
England.
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 They had Canada, they had USA, they had India, they had South Africa, they had Egypt, Australia, all very big. So anyway, the Tsar of Russia said, we have to have money to fight the British. In Crimea, he ran out of money. No more money in the bank. So the Tsar of Russia sold Alaska to
US.
USA
Yeah.
for a small amount of money,
7 million.
7 million.
7 million.
7 million.
Alaska is the biggest state.
So that's how the USA got Alaska. So anyway, that was our story from yesterday. I think there was something else I wanted to show you here. On the 50 states. Oh, I know what it was. Just to remind us that when Russia, the Tsar of Russia, sent someone here to say, it's ours, this is our place. There were people living here. A lot of people. There's people all over here. And the Russians wanted to come here, but they didn't have enough money, and there were actual Russian settlements in what is now California. But they didn't have the ships to go back and forth. But they remember there's a native original peoples living here, and they're still living here. Native peoples that have been there for thousands of years. So this was a thing you brought up, Abdel Kader, about this and this. This water in here is not deep. Do we know deep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one time, when the world had big glaciers, ice,
Yeah.
so much water had gone up into the making ice that this was a land bridge. You could walk. You could walk.
No.
Yes. No water.
No what?
And people walked here, came down. South America, the whole thing. People have been moving, traveling for thousands and thousands of years. So that's a little bit of the story of Alaska. Notice this little red line here,
Yeah.
the boundary. Remember boundary? What is a boundary?
Which family?
What?
Name.
But what does boundary mean? It's the edge of something, where something starts and something ends. Boundary. The other word that goes with is border. B-O-R-D-E-R, border. Canada,
Lord,
that's the border.
Yeah. حدود. لماذا؟
That's the boundary.
حدود. حدود.
Border, boundary.
Limit.
Pardon?
Limit.
It's sort of like the limit, but they call it the border. So when you go to, do you want to go to Mexico? You have to cross the border.
Yeah.
If I go to Canada, I have to check in with the border police to check my car. Anyone here been to Canada?
No.
To Windsor?
No.
There's a bridge and a tunnel. Takes. It's a little difficult right now because of so many things, but it's very nice, Windsor. And speaking of which, Windsor now has 5 Moroccan restaurants. Are there any Moroccan restaurants in Detroit?
No.
Pardon?
Yeah, there are one.
No.
Morocco.
Moroccan,
No.
Moroccan. Yeah,
Yes.
there are one
on Gratiot
Where?
in Detroit.
in Detroit, on Gratiot Avenue.
I think rightfully كاين مطعم
مطعم عربي؟
ايه كاين وكذا
Where?
زعما يخدموا فيه الجنسيات نتاع الجماعة. No
مطعم
Moroccan
عربي؟
person work in this restaurant.
Which,
No Moroccan people work in restaurant. American and
just Americans?
American.
That place, it's on Gratiot, it's Moroccan and it's Moroccan guys that have it. I'll show you the picture later. Yeah. So the last thing I want to show you about this is the names of these states. More than half, just to remind us, more than half of the names come from indigenous people. The one that we have to remember, we want to remember, is this one, ta-da, Michigan. Michigan comes from what word?
Michigan. Oh.
Many waters.
Minimum.
Michigami.
Michigan.
Because of all these lakes.
Lands.
Okay. These are the Great Lakes. Great meaning big. Great Lakes. Let's see if I have this. We're going to switch to, it's a little bit of history. So those of you that got this, that were not here yesterday, take this home and read it. It's good information. Today, this one is the President of the United States. So we're going to stop. I have to run to Horizon, but who can remember to bring this back tomorrow? Anyone? Everyone remember to bring it? I have folders, if you'd like a folder, if you want to set it over there, because we don't want to use up too many copies. So before we go, so just to take one test. I hope I have enough. Who is the President of the United States?
Joe Biden.
Who?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. So if I said,
We need one more.
who is the previous president? Who needs one?
Donald Trump.
Trump.
Previous president means before.
Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
Trump.
Who is the current president?
Biden.
Joe Biden.
Current means now.
Biden.
Previous means before. Who is the prior president?
Prior.
Future
Trump.
president.
Prior.
Trump.
Trump.
Previous,
Prior.
prior, before. Just terms for that. This is old, so the information, some of it, especially with numbers, is not accurate. And then the President of the United States, what number are we on? What number is Biden?
46.
46.
46.
Who was number one?
George Washington.
George Washington. Yes, George Washington was number one, or we would say the first. So sometimes in history they say, oh, father of the country. Well, that's what that means. Sort of a title for his position. We talked a little bit about George Washington before, and George Washington was elected president, and he was the first president, and he was there for 2 terms. How long is each term?
4
years.
4 years.
4 years.
So 2 terms is how long?
8.
8 years. So George Washington was elected president, and after 2 terms, another president was elected, and we're going to discuss, I don't have the paper, we'll do this first, then we'll do George Washington and president number 2, because this was the beginning of American democratic or democracy electing presidents. So you have to remember that George Washington was the president, and King George was what?
2.
Who is King George the Third?
The third version.
England, King George the Third.
Yeah.
The 13 colonies
5.
fight during the American Revolution. Do you remember the Revolution? Okay. Change the government. Yeah. What year?
I don't know.
Fatima knows a lot about American history. What year was it? 1776. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop for today. Did we get everybody? 11, 1, 2.